Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Earthbound Beginnings. In the last part, we got here to Magicant, and now we're going to try and escape to this well area and encounter our first new enemy for the part. Groucho, based off Groucho Marx, obviously. The weird thing about this enemy is you can either kill them or they can walk away from the battle, which actually gives 50 experience points, which is more than received by defeating the damn thing. Which I find kind of odd. Also, there's chests in here, but I'm not going for a lot of them because a lot of them have items I don't need yet. And we immediately encounter our next new enemy, Ulrich, or Ulrich, I can't tell. The only real thing of note of them is that they can use PK Thunder A, which deals fairly low Thunder Elemental damage. On later games, I think, and by that I mean Mother 3, the Franklin badge would reflect that. But yeah, there's some treasure chests in here like this one. This is a PSI stone, and none of it's really useful yet. However, it is worth it to investigate this dragon. The dragon sleeps. An intense psychic power is short of waking the dragon. You have to be at level 25, I believe, in order to wake that thing up, and it is a boss fight. Same with this hole. If you enter it, prepare for a mini-boss. Surprisingly, easy one. The fish. This guy actually does hurt. My strategy for you would be increase your defense, decrease its defense, and then just go all out attack-wise. Beyond that, he's not really that hard. The main thing about him, obviously, is that he has a continuous attack. I think this might be the first one we've encountered someone with this. Continuous attacks is pretty much 2 attacks in a row, or at least to get 2 turns per turn of yours. That can be dangerous if you don't have a defense up kind of thing, because that can be like 9 to... Well, actually, no, I think one of his attacks does 9 damage, usually. So that's about 18 damage per turn. And at low HP, like 70 or so, that can be quite fatal. However, he goes down pretty quickly. And for doing that, we get this chest, which has the Onyx Hook. Now, anytime you want to return to Magicant, like I will be to grind up new characters, you can come here at any time. You just have to use that from your inventory. That box there contains a sword. That's a weapon for a later character that we don't have yet. Next new enemy is Four Eyes. Nothing really special about them, honestly. Now, the thing about the whole well area we're in right now is that it actually had a completely different layout in Japan. It's one of the few areas that they did, well, I think it's the first area that we've encountered, that they changed the layout to make it easier for American audiences. And this guy's a forgotten man. He's not really here. He didn't notice. We didn't notice him. He's a man who does not exist. We talk so kindly, but he doesn't know what to do. If I miss people, he can't live alone anymore. This guy... I'm not sure what the point of him is, other than maybe being overly depressing. He's just there on your way, you have to talk to him enough, and eventually, he'll give you a yes-no thing. You are not a forgotten man, because we have some people waiting for us. And we're going to ignore him like everyone else. And then he disappears. I forget if there's a point to that at all. And this isn't the area we started Magicant in. No, it is not. We are actually near Merrysville, the next town. We're not too far away, all things considered, from Podunk, though, if I recall. Now we actually get a first one for us, at least. A battle that has 2 new enemies. Cougars and Skunks. Cougars, the thing to watch out for them about them is that they are fast. They will generally get the first attack unless you're like level 30. Skunks are nothing really to talk about. They don't even have an attack that causes an asthma. They, because there's a status element in this game known as asthma, where you can't really do anything in battle with that character. It's usually Ninten that gets hit with it. But the Skunks don't have anything like that for some reason, which is kind of odd, because you think they would, but oh well. Also, this is what my inventory is looking up right now. The life up cream, I forgot to mention that when we got that, but that is actually like the best recovery item in the game. It recovers up to 999 HP. Also, the Flash Dark, I recommend you just drop that actually, because while it is a one-of-a-kind item, it's not too useful. It just takes up inventory space, really. Unless you can find a way to get back to Podunk. Well, I think you can, I just never do, because I'm focused on my current objective whenever I'm here. And also, I cut to the sports goods floor of the department store, which was a really sudden cut, actually, to get the aluminum bat. Ness's second to last weapon. We won't be getting the last one until towards the end of the game, So he's gonna be using this for a while. What the hell was that for? Huh, that was odd. Hi, welcome to Twinkle Elementary School. There's some rooms we can enter here, but we want to go to this one. I'm busy. I can't help you right now. You'll have to come back later. And that'll come into play fairly shortly. Fairly obviously, each one of these rooms has some people you can talk to, but they're not worth talking to, really. Heck, one of them's downright harmful to you. I was picking on that weakling Lloyd, but he got away. There's a padlock on the door at the top of the stairs. Now, in the room on the far right here, don't talk to the girl on the bottom left. She'll give you the cold status helmet, which is pretty much poison. Every 8 steps, you take 1 damage. However, you can't heal it with Healing Alpha. You need to go to a hospital to get a certain item that we can't get yet, if I recall. And if you go to the hospital, that's 300 in-game dollars gone. Anyway, hello, janitor. Of course the door to the roof is locked. We can't have students sneaking out to play games when they should be studying, you know? Yeah. It's not that big of a problem. My wife is a bigger problem. Oh boy. She doesn't get out of bed until afternoon each day. She won't even pack me a brown bag lunch. Isn't that just horrible? Yeah. Then when she does get up, she goes shopping. Luckily I hid the credit cards from that woman. Don't you think she's a terrible wife? No. When she was young, she was very pretty. Come to think of it, she's not that bad after all. Would you like some tea? Sure. You're a pretty good kid. You say you need to go up to the roof? Follow me. Oh, that was a chain of events that happened. If you don't say... Well, first off, you can hold down the B button to run here so you can expedite the process. My wife was the first Miss Merrysville in history. If you say yes or no to the questions that I did wrong, you get kicked out of the room, pretty much. Okay, I've unlocked the roof. While you're up there, make sure to take in the view. It is unforgettable. Welcome to the roof. And that's the view. Wow. NES. Hey, that mountain looks cool. Keep that in mind for later. Call it a hunch. Who are you? I won't come out. If I do, everyone will pick on me. You want to be my friend? Don't tell anyone, but I stole some explosives. Okay. I'm coming out now. Meet Lloyd. Hi, I'm Lloyd. I wanted to fly the bottle rockets to that sweet little factory that the sweet little factory was producing. Obviously, we know he's the next party member because we named him at the beginning of the game. However, we can't recruit him until we get a sweet bottle rocket from down this... Well, no, just bottle rocket from this general direction. If you recall when we actually exited the cave that led out of Magicant, we actually saw the factory right there. It was that big building. This thing. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, in terms of enemies, this place is rather boring. All this place has for enemies is rats, which we've encountered before. I'm surprised I actually didn't run into any enemies on the way to the factory, because there's a lot of new enemies in this general area, actually, including one we'll be encountering for a while. You're going to want to get that fight capsule, and I recommend either using it now or saving it for Lloyd. I generally would save it for Lloyd, which is what I actually do. In fact, no, actually, I'll save what I was about to say for later. Now, the thing is, a lot of these doors have pretty useless items like magic herbs and plastic bats in them, so it's not really worth going out of your way to get to them. The bottle rocket that we need is actually in a very short distance from us. It's in that trash can. You can actually constantly check it to get more. And with that, we're done here, so I'm going to cut back to Lloyd. Hi, I'm Lloyd. I wanted to fly the bottle rockets that the sweet little factory was producing. Wow, this is a bottle rocket. It is sure to cause to bang. That was bad grammar on my part. We may have been able to make some more on our own. Go with me to the lab. And Lloyd joins our party. And let me tell you, he sucks at the start. Later, we should go to Duncan's factory. I've heard they're constructing an incredible rocket. Okay, then you sure like blowing things up. A true American. They call me names, weakling, four eyes, or worse. I'm sure you've heard of them. I know that feeling from when I was a kid. By the way, this is the lab. Your bottle rocket and my... Great, isn't it? What? Ah, my eyes! Well, that happened. Let's leave this room now so we don't get framed for this. Also, you're going to notice, Lloyd has no PP. That's because he actually doesn't get any PSI. He's purely physical attack. Also, if you exit and re-enter the room, this guy's here. He's the mysterious teacher. He sells items that are really interesting. I'm not going to get any of them. Like the last weapon, that's pretty much a last-ditch attack. You sacrifice the character's life, and they do a crap ton of damage. Sticky machine, guns up enemies, super bombs, another thing. It's a really interesting thing. In fact, he's always making new stuff, if I recall, but not much of it's really useful. Either way, now what I'm going to do is, well, use the fight capsule on Lloyd first off. I'm actually going to head back to Magicant and grind Lloyd up to level 17. Also, at the very entrance of Magicant, when you use the Onyx Hook, there's a cat next to you. Talk to him and you'll get something for Lloyd, a little magic candy that'll raise his energy by 5. And here we are. Let's take a look at everything. First off, here's the new PSIs that we've learned. And here's what he's looking like. Now, the stun gun you get in the Merrysville department store. The other two things, the magic coin, you obviously know where I got that, Magicant, but both Ninten and Lloyd now have gold rings. You get those from, I believe it's the second store in Magicant. And those are pretty much just defense-raising items. Anyway, gonna want to follow the railroad track into a random battle against a Bag Lady. Bag Ladies don't really have anything special to them, other than the fact that they drop a hamburger. And hamburgers, as soon as my page loads, peel around 50 HP. Nothing, actually that is pretty useful. Yeah, this is the magic candy I got from that cat guy. I forgot to actually show me getting it. You use it, only Lloyd can use it. His energy increases by 5. I forget if that means his HP or his force, though. It's one of those two. As soon as you go up here, you find a pass that someone had left behind. You always find this. It's always there. You're actually required to pick it up. It's a scripted event. And here we have our next new enemy, Eagle. Nothing really special about them other than the fact that they can be damaging. It also caused me to burp, apparently. They have low HP, but they have high speed and attack, so watch out for them. Well, lower HP. A lot of things have low HP when you can deal, like, over 100 damage with a smash attack. Anyway, here's the factory. This factory is Mr. Duncan's private property. Let's see your pass. Well, likely we just picked one of those up. This pass has expired. You must have stolen it. Suspicious creature. Look me in the eye. And we're thrown into a mini-boss fight against the straight up. Oh no, I'm so terrified. Die. Or tame. Quiet, whatever. That was pointless. Welcome to Duncan's factory, often regarded as one of the hardest sections in the game. We immediately start off with the new enemy, Scrapper. These guys have fairly high defense and can stand on guard, making their HP, their defense even higher. They have low HP and speed, but they can use PK Beam, which while it's not PK Beam Gamma, which is the instant kill attack, it still damages you, so watch out for that. In fact, I recommend keeping yourself healed in this place, because that kind of helps. Anyway, next new enemy is a Bomber. These guys can use a bomb attack, which does about 30 HP's worth of PK fire damage to enemies. Or in this case, to you. Bomb-type items are generally only usable by Lloyd, by the way. Also, you hear the music cut a bit more than it usually does. That's because I'm cutting out healing, because this place is difficult. In fact, there's 2 items I miss. First off, here we got a life up cream. It's good to have one of those in stock. But the 2 items I miss, I believe, are in this room, actually. Because as you can see, it continues farther to the left. There are 2 capsules that I need to get, because there's a quick capsule in here. And that is going to Lloyd. And I'm going to go back to that room off screen and actually get those 2 items in between parts, because I need those. Well, I don't need them, but they help. Next new enemy is Dr. Distorto. The weird thing about him, he's not that remarkable an enemy. But in the Japanese version, he actually had a spot of blood on his lab coat, which is removed in all later releases. And I, for the life of me, can't seem to find a sprite of that. When you destroy it's his creation that he's in a battle with, generally, his attack might raise as well. But, honestly, nothing really remarkable. dangerous thing about this place is the enemies more so than anything else, because once you know where everything is, as it should be, it is a fairly short area. Though, mind you, I really shouldn't be talking about short, because the thing about this, by the way, both these chests are bottle rockets. The thing about this recording, it was that it wasn't originally 18 or so minutes. It was closer to 38. That was about 20 minutes worth of edited random battles. RPGs. Gotta love them. In fact, that's kind of the reason... Well, first off, next new enemy, Fireball. They can use PK fire on you. Nothing too dangerous about them. The thing is with RPGs like this and the Final Fantasy 1 playthrough is that you might notice that some of the part lengths are very, well, varied. That's because the way I do these games, I take precise notes from looking at walkthroughs and Let's Plays, and then a test playthrough myself, actually. And do what I have those notes down. Do what I have written down in those notes, rather. And then that's the end of the part. So that's why actually back in Final Fantasy 1 especially, some parts were like 11 minutes, because I knew how to edit around random battles, and that my goals were only like 11 minutes long. Now you're going to want to go into this room, because there's something pretty rare. And here we got another Franklin badge. This is the only game in the Mother series to have more than one of them, I believe. We're going to want to give that to Lloyd, because now he can avoid instant death attacks. Well, at least PK being Gamma. That is the only other one in the game, though. So if you want other characters to be immune to that spell, you're going to need to give it to them. Final new enemy for the part is a old robot. For some reason, I used to think these things were called super robots. It has fairly decent stats, but the thing is, it has PK Beam Alpha. So if you have PK Shield, like I do, or PSI Shield, rather, use it. What that attack does, or what PSI Shield does, is that it reduces damage you take from PSI attacks. Which is useful in this game. More so in this game than than Earthbound, actually. Mother 3, it had some good use. You know, it's weird. The song for this area reminds me a lot of the Knight Rider theme. Also, in this room, we got a Force Capsule. Which is pretty much the same thing as the Magic Candy that we already gave Lloyd. That's actually going to go to Ninten. That's why I'm pausing here. I was looking at my notes. Because I was like, wait, my notes say I'm missing 2 things. Oh, crap, I missed items. And the thing is about the music here, it's only one part that reminds me of the Knight Rider theme. It's the da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Which, mind you, is all you really need, because that's pretty much the main riff of the Knight Rider theme. I do love this song, though. It's a really mechanical sounding song, and I like that. Anyway, over here is our final goal. But this is the giant rocket room that we came here for that Lloyd was telling us about. We need this to actually blow up a rock that was in the way of the railroad tracks. Aim the rocket. Okay. 1, 2, 3, fire. I think you did that a bit backwards there, Lloyd. It's supposed to be 3, 2, 1. And it blasts through the ceiling and destroys the rock on the railroad tracks. I assure you, there was a rock there. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in between this part and the next, I'm going to go back and get those 2 items, and I'm actually going to use the Onyx Hook to be a shortcut out of this damn place, because it's a lot quicker to get back to town using this than going through the actual dungeon again. See you guys then!